You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. So, the cycle that garden centers will go through, especially in the mountain areas, not so much Phoenix or Tucson or California, but more the four-season garden center that's open year round. What happens is we'll clear out all the summer, spring and summer stuff. So the things that have been at the garden center are cleared out. We liquidate all that stuff. And then there's a stock up mode that we're going through now through October. Literally, we've had two semi-fulls of plants showing up, and it's that winter mix. And the reason we've got we feel the pressure is we're bringing in plants now. They're beautiful, so that they can harden off. So they go through the same cold cycle, they go into winter on our cycle. And so they're not coming in from a warm area, a real cold area, and just all of a sudden shocked. So if we get them in here early and they kind of process through and they slowly go through that hot days, cool nights, and they get to that winter mode. And so it's usually October 29th through the first week in November. We'll have our first frost. We'll have our first heavy freezes by the middle of November. So we want the plants in here so that you can plant them and they won't have any transplant shock. And so there's a strategy for healthy plants. That's how we do it. And so we bring them in, we spray them with some anti-desiccant. There's a spray called Wilt Stop that we coat the foliage with. So it kind of keeps them from shocking out in our climate. So it just kind of makes them healthier. But now is the time when you will find the prettiest spruce trees, the biggest, chubbiest pine trees. You get these cute little Christmassy looking trees like Alberta spruce. You're seeing a lot of evergreen. The hollies are unbelievable. Oh my gosh. This is before they were pretty, but now they're full berry and they're chubbier, they're fuller, they've matured. We've gotten a couple extra flushes on them. We've been able to shape them so that we have big, chubby, full hollies. And so you're seeing that now. And so you'll see a unique mix of plants at your garden center now, or at least here at Waters Garden Center now. And that's the reason that we're doing it that way. There's a cycle, there's an ebb and flow. We have to commit to all of winter's project. Most of the plants that we're going to sell through winter, we need to bring in now so that they can be acclimated, is what we call it, or transition into our cold climate. And so we're having the computers tell us, okay, you're going to need 50 evergreen trees, and some of them will be this, and we'll bring them all in. So you've got a great choice of plants now, and they can all be planted now. If you're planting now, you just have to, you need to make sure you plant them right. We can show you how to do that, and then water them. You can't just plant once, give it a hose, and then it goes all winter with no extra care. You will need to garden or care for those things through winter. But if you do that, you're setting the stage for a tremendous growth, spring elongation or spring candle growth on those evergreens. They're going to take off and you'll have way more tree, more shrub, a better, healthier plant next spring by planting now, because they're going to root out through the end of the year. They're going to set their buds. So you'll see these little buttons on the end of your conifers, the needled pines, needled trees. That's what's going to elongate and give you next spring's new branch structure. So you get a fuller, and the beautiful thing about evergreens, they don't just do growth on the top. It's 360. It's from the very tips to the very bottom and every branch all the way around. It's putting on this nice new colorful growth that it puts on. And so there's an advantage. If you've got a new house and you're just closing on things and you can't move in until Thanksgiving, you're fine. We'll have enough evergreens to be able to plant, or enough winter mixing things. We've brought them in so they're on our cycle, so you can plant them. We plant year round here. We'd never close down. And so that's how we will do that. So we've got plants. They may ebb and flow the mixture sometimes, but we'll have the right plants for the right season and conditioned the right way. So for your success, as long as you plant them right and you water them through winter, you're good. And watering, don't go crazy. Really, you're watering normally through the middle of November. Then you'll kind of back off as things slow down. We get cooler. You don't have to water as much because it's just not hot. And so maybe you're watering a couple times a month. Give it a good deep soak, and that's enough to keep things healthy. Keep the moisture in the structure of the plant, so the new buds can keep forming for your plants. And so if you do that, you will have, starting the end of February, typically we start to see daffodils in bloom. We start to see forsythia going. So the very first of the year, spring 2000, is coming. And so you're planting now to set the stage for that spring growth. But the garden center is transitioning into lots of holiday, evergreeny, that mixture of plants. This is when you see some of the best choices, and the plants are fuller because they've had a whole season's worth of growth. They're just spectacular. You open up the trucks going, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. They're also so pokey. So you end up with we call it a spruce rash on your hands, kind of poke on your arms if you're unloaded a whole semi. But it's kind of fun to watch. I like the seasonality of garden centers. Keeps it interesting.
Water's October companion plants that grow well together are blaze maples, burning bush, Arizona creeper, glamour kale, and spicy mum.
Water's Spicy Mums are best sellers for super long bloom times and local garden tuck.
Spicy mums glow yellow with a halo of fiery orange around each daisy flower.
These big, bold perennials are perfectly shaped and add color in autumn when few flowers are in peak blooms.
You'll find bright fall flowers here at Waters Garden Center in Prescott.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.